Hi, Dave Faulkner here from the Hoodoo Gurus. Please come to see us in Sao Paulo very soon. Right now, Hoodoo Gurus on Rádio Rock 89.
Fala galera, beleza? Eu sou o Wendell Correia e hoje eu vou conversar mais uma vez com Dave Faulkner, o vocalista e líder da banda australiana Hoodoo Gurus. Finalmente estão de volta para o Brasil, vão se apresentar aqui novamente em várias cidades do nosso país. Aqui em São Paulo é no dia 12 de abril, no Vibra São Paulo. O ingresso você garante o ru.com, 89 está promovendo o show também. Trocar ideia com ele principalmente sobre isso. Estou falando mais uma vez, vou falar com ele porque no passado eu troquei ideia com o Dave Faulkner para falar sobre o novo álbum do Hoodoo Gurus, chamado Chariot of the Gods. A entrevista está disponível aqui no canal do YouTube da Rádio Rock também, só procurar aí Rádio Rock 89. Tem entrevista ele falando principalmente sobre esse álbum, e hoje a gente vai trocar ideia sobre essa apresentação que está chegando aqui no Brasil, a expectativa, todo mundo ansioso. Garante seu ingresso em ru.com, 12 de abril, Vibra São Paulo, e vamos trocar essa ideia com o Dave Faulkner do Hoodoo Gurus, com exclusividade para 89, a Rádio Rock. So, I don't know if you're going to remember, but we talked last year, Dave, about when you are releasing the album, Chariot of the Gods. It's been almost 1 year so far.
Wow, so that's fantastic. Did you know we were coming to Brazil then? Was that already news?
No, we even talking about that because we're trying to get to Brazil.
We were planning the tour. I think I probably didn't want to announce it because it wasn't, hadn't been set yet. And as it happened, that promoter ended up pulling out and the tour nearly didn't happen again. So luckily we had Chantilly come in at the last minute and save the tour.
Yeah,
but we've been planning this for 12 months. 12 months we were planning this tour.
That's great. As you're talking about it, I was reading about it. You have to make some phone calls to Chantilly. You're a famous promoter here in Brazil. How was that?
It was great. Well, he promoted our first 2 tours to Brazil. So we know him and love him and trust him. But he stopped promoting now. And he only came out of retirement to do this tour as a favor to us. So we're so grateful.
Yeah, because it's nice. You really want to come to Brazil, not only saying for saying.
Absolutely. No, we've been trying for 20 years. We've been trying for 20 years to come back. And every time the promoters just didn't fix it, just didn't happen. And we thought it was never going to happen, it seemed. But luckily, Chantilly has rescued us.
Yeah. How has been the tour of Chariot of the Gods? Are you in Australia right now?
Yes, absolutely. We did the album tour last year. It was fantastic. The reviews for the album around the world have been probably the best reviews we've ever had for an album. And the tour as well. We had incredible reviews for our live show as well in our Australian tour. So it couldn't be better. I've got to be honest. We're playing really well. We're loving it. And people seem to be enjoying it as well, other people.
And what did you miss the most about touring?
Oh, just being, in music. It's a part of my, who I am as a person. Music is very important to me, and to be, unable to play gigs for several years because of COVID was heartbreaking, and I felt a little bit like a bit lost as a person. And so now I can be myself and enjoy what I most love about life. Music is one of the most important things for me.
That's great. So you are more a musician off stage than in the studio?
I love recording. I love writing songs. These are, my passion is writing songs. But performing is really why we're here. From the beginning of the band's history, very beginning, it was always about winning people over one at a time by playing a concert and then coming back to see us and telling their friends and bringing more people along. That's how our fame, our success started and has continued. We were never a sort of band that was, going to be an industry band, the term industry, the music industry, that we're not a natural fit. We're kind of a bit alternative, a bit loud, a bit, we're a bit out of fashion. We play guitars, it's kind of old fashioned. But, it's just the way we feel music, and it's how we make the best music is on the guitar. So that's what we do. But, it was because audiences kept coming back and bringing more people and making us successful that we started and became, the career we've got to this day.
And last time we talked, you said that some people in Brazil, when you play here on the 90s, was shocked because it was an aggressive and rock and roll show.
Yeah, we did. We were. I think they were a bit sort of like, oh my God, what is this? They thought we were kind of a happy, kind of light group, which, you know, we have light. We are happy, but it's got a lot of energy, and, you know, we like to put the two together, so it really, you know, slams into, you know, you can't ignore us. But we might have gone a little bit too hard on some of the songs, and we know some of those songs that we might have played last time weren't ones that people in Brazil know very well or particularly like even. So we're definitely being very conscious this time to try and put all the songs in the set that people know and love, and not ones they don't know. But there'll be a few new songs, but all the other songs from our past career, which will be most of the set, will be hopefully the songs that are most famous in Brazil.
You mentioned the song "I Don't Mind." Brazilians ask you about that song.
Wow, you're the second person to mention that song to me. It's funny. Yes, we someone on Facebook from Brazil wrote to us. You must remember to play "I Don't Mind." It's a very popular song in Brazil, and because that song wasn't a single anywhere, so it's one we don't think of that much. You know, usually the singles are the ones from the old albums. You have to always remember to play those. But yeah, we rehearsed that one recently and it sounded great. So we can play that if you want.
Do you meet a lot of Brazilians in Australia? Because there are a lot of Brazilians there. We know that.
Where I live is Bondi Beach. There's many Brazilians live in Bondi. So if you know people in Sydney, and they're Brazilian, chances are they may live in Bondi because there's a lot of Brazilians here. I don't know any personally. They're not people I've met, but you hear people speaking Portuguese all the time. In Bondi.
You'd say there was an aggressive show. I was watching some of your recent shows in Australia. This year, 2023, is still aggressive. So
it's not aggressive. I prefer to say higher spirited.
Yeah,
we're not angry. Yeah. We're not angry. We're just excited. Yeah, we have a
strong show.
Absolutely. Well, that's our thing. You know, we you can't look away. You can't ignore us. You know, you've got to be swept up in the energy.
Yeah, that is better to describe. So my question, what changed for you as a performer and a musician since the 90s?
Nothing. Nothing at all. I mean, we do exactly what we always try to do, you know, plug in, make an exciting guitar sound, sing songs that have, you know, meaning and feeling and also memorable songs. You know, that's as a songwriter, that's what I like, you know, songs that I can't get out of my head. So those are the things we've always wanted to do, and that's still how we feel today. We made the new album just the same way as we've always done that, you know, just write some songs that make us feel great. Hopefully other people will like them too.
Do you have any kind of ritual before entering the stage?
Yes, I do. I have to warm up my voice. So I sing along to Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions from the early 60s. It's a best of album of Curtis Mayfield. And I sing along with that every time I sing before a show. I always sing along with that because it stretches my voice out so that it's warm. And when I get on stage, I can sing all my notes. Otherwise, I'd lose my voice quickly if I didn't have it warmed up. So that's my ritual, the same thing every time.
And how has been playing with Nick on the drum on this tour? Because you have the experience of him on the studio, but now on the tour, how has been the things?
It's been great. I mean, Nick's been with us now nearly 8 years, I think. It's been a long time. Mark came back Mark retired after many years of loyal service, and we got Nick in. But then Mark came back for nearly a year, and so Nick said, "Okay, if Mark is the main drummer of the band, you know, for so much of its history, so of course I will I'll step aside." And Mark came back, but then Mark said, "Yes, I want to retire actually after all." So he retired again, and then Nick rejoined, and Nick's been with us now, you know, for 5 years, and it's been fantastic. Nick is a wonderful drummer, great person, and he also understands us. He's a fan of the Hoodoo Gurus before he joined us, so he knew all our songs. So when we say, let's play I Don't Mind, he knows the song already. He doesn't have to sort of go home and listen to it and you know, try and remember it. He knows it because he's a fan. So it's been so easy working with Nick.
That's great. And talking about Brazil again, any place you intend to visit when you've been here? Because you're going to be on some cities for the first time.
I think we're not going anywhere new this time, but we're going to Porto Alegre, we've been to before, Curitiba, Florianopolis. But we are going to have a couple of days off before Florianopolis. So hopefully we can go to the beach and, relax and then, come and play the show a couple of days later. So that's our plan. The last time we were in Florianopolis, we had a few days rest as well. And I wrote the song If Only from the Blue Cave album. So we might play If Only this time as well, because for me, that's a Brazil song. It was written in Brazil while I was on a beach in Brazil.
And do you know any Brazilian music?
A little bit. I must admit, from the last time I was there, I mean, I like Caetano Veloso. Love him. He's brilliant, man. Of course, and everyone knows, the fantastic Jobim and all these fantastic, legendary musicians of Brazil. But yeah, last time I was there, I was listening to some, I went to a club and heard pagode, which was interesting. It's new to me. Is that still popular, pagode, or not?
Always. Pagode and samba, always popular in Brazil.
Of course. There was a band I had, I don't know if they're still going, Timbalada.
Yeah.
They still going?
I believe they because I think they changed the formation.
Yeah, so these are some of the artists I know and like. So yes, I do like Brazilian music.
Yeah, you know a lot. That's great. And how is the rock scene in Australia nowadays? Because we know we love a lot of bands in Australia here in Brazil. You know that.
Yes, it's very. I mean, there's always brilliant new bands coming out. You might have heard of King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing the Hollywood Bowl soon. Every year, there's so many new albums, so many new artists. It's hard to keep up. But yeah, the rock and roll and all sorts of music, hip hop, jazz, country, it's all here. There's so many different things. People, soul music. It's you can find any music you love, and you'll find someone playing it in Australia because we just love music.
Thank you so much, David.
Thank you. Cheers.
Brazil.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Hi, Dave Faulkner here from the Hoodoo Gurus, and you are listening to Radio Rock 89.
89 na Rádio Rock.